Hi everyone, our Partial Book Club event is going to start shortly. Thank you very much for joining. Whilst we're waiting, if you could please put in your school and your class in the chat, that would be lovely. We'd love to see those of you coming through as you're joining us. We'll just wait a few minutes for the last few people to join us. Hi Year 1 at Southam at St James Academy, lovely to see you. We're really pleased to have you here, and Naomi and James are super excited to meet all of you very shortly and to tell you all about their book. Anyone else joining us, please pop in your school and your class. We'd love to see who you are. Key Stage 1 at Abbey School. Oh, we're very excited too. Thank you so much for joining. And EYFS at Willington Primary. Hi to you guys. And who else we've got? Oh, Western Favell Primary Holly class. Key Stage 1 at Carnegill, North Yorkshire. Wrens at Weston-on-Trent. Year 1 and 2 at Weston-on-Trent too. Lovely to see you. Love to see so many people from all over the country. It's so nice to have you. We're just going to start really shortly. It's not too long to wait now. Thanks so much for your patience. Oh, and a school in Padova. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Baynard School in Tiptree, EYFS and Key Stage 1. Thanks to all of you lot for joining us too. Oh, hello 1P from Perry Hall Primary School. Lovely to see you. And yes, you do look like the loveliest class. And hello, Naomi and James.
Hi guys, hi everyone.
So if you haven't already, please pop your name and school in the chat box. So my name is Emma. I'm an editor at Farshawe. I have the amazing job of helping authors and illustrators to create their books, just like this one. And so let me introduce you to the talented and the brilliant Naomi and James, and they are the talented duo behind The Oddfish. The wonderful story was written by Naomi, and the amazing illustrations were created by James. And in just a moment, they're going to tell you about their inspiration for the book and do a very special story time. There'll also be a draw along, so teachers, please make sure that everyone has a pencil and paper so they can join in. And at the end, it will be your turn to ask questions. So start thinking about them. And if your teacher could write them in the Q&A box, Naomi and James will answer as many questions as they can. So now over to you, Naomi and James.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. We are so excited to talk to you all and to share our brand new story, The Oddfish. So The Oddfish is only published today, which means you are some of the first children across the whole country to read our story.
Yeah, you guys are very lucky and really lovely to see so many of you. And as Emma said, my name's James and I'm an illustrator.
And my name's Naomi and I'm an author, which means I write stories.
And we live in Cornwall with our 2 boys and a very Springer Spaniel called Jack, and we live near the sea.
I was inspired to write The Odd Fish when our youngest son was 2. So when he was 2, I was sat watching Blue Planet 2 with him because he loved watching all the different sea creatures and all the fish in the ocean. But there was one episode about plastic in the sea, and our little boy couldn't tell the difference between the plastic and the fish. And I realized that neither can the sea creatures. And that's exactly the problem. That's what makes plastic in the ocean so dangerous for the sea creatures.
Now, we can't see you, but hands up to your teachers if you've ever drunk from a plastic bottle.
So we both have.
That one.
And when we were little, when we were your age, we never even thought about what happens to those plastic bottles once you throw them away or recycle them.
So what does happen to plastic bottles?
Well, some plastic bottles are recycled and they get turned into something else brand new. But some of them end up in our rivers and seas instead.
So what happens to them then?
Well, we can find out what happens to one plastic bottle in particular, as there's one in our story, The Odd Fish. Let's read it to you now.
So we thought we'd read it to you now and keep a lookout for a cheeky little crab that appears on every page.
Okay, we're going to share our screen with you now. So hopefully everyone can see that.
Right.
The Odd Fish by Naomi and James Jones. Little Fish was swimming with her family when she spotted something a bit different.
What is it? Hold up. She spotted something.
So she swam over to investigate. Hello, said Little Fish. But Odd Fish didn't say anything back. I think you're shy, whispered Little Fish, and you're all alone. Shall we help you find your family? Odd Fish bobbed up and down. Bob, bob, bob.
Does Bob mean yes?
Little Fish searched under seashells, among the seaweed, and behind the rocks. But there was no sign of Odd Fish's family anywhere. Hey, called Seahorse. I've seen fish like that before. Where? Asked Little Fish.
Boo. Ah!
Past the reef, Seahorse pointed. Just follow the current. Oh, thank you, Seahorse, said Little Fish. Come on, everyone.
Woohoo! Let's go. Are we there yet? I love the reef.
It was a long way through the reef. Little Fish soon got tired. But Odd Fish was very kind and nudged them all along.
Thanks, Odd Fish. Woo, that tickles. Nearly there.
We made it, cried Little Fish.
Hi, Finn.
But then... Let our friend go, squealed Little Fish. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm in such a tangle I can't see what I'm doing, wailed Octopus. Maybe we can help, suggested Little Fish. Together, they untangled Octopus.
Oh, what a muddle. Up a bit, down a bit.
Thank you, said Octopus. Have you seen Odd Fish's family? Asked Little Fish. Yes, said Octopus. Just follow the current. Bob, 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 went Odd Fish.
Come on, Little Fish. We're getting closer. Thanks, Octopus.
Off they swam into the big blue sea when... Big fish! Shrieked Little Fish. Hide!
Oh, we're going to get eaten. Big fish, big fish.
But Odd Fish bravely kept on swimming. When it was safe to come out, Little Fish and her family swam as fast as they could to try and catch Odd Fish.
Slow down, Odd Fish.
Wait for us, shouted Little Fish.
What smelly bubbles? Where are they coming from?
Are you okay? Asked Little Fish. I've got a tummy ache, said Turtle. That must hurt, frowned Little Fish. Maybe stop eating that.
Pooey. Oh dear.
Turtle spat out his snack. Good idea, thanks. Have you seen any fish like my friend? Asked Little Fish. Just follow the current and you'll find them, replied Turtle. Together they kept going around whirlpools,
Nearly there. I'm dizzy.
And through enormous waves that splashed and sploshed above them.
Surf's up. My fins are tired.
Finally, little fish spotted something a little bit familiar. Bobbing up and down with the waves was a school of odd fish of all shapes, sizes, and colours.
There's too many odd fish to count. Where did they all come from?
Look, odd fish, we found your family, said little fish.
Bob, Bob, Bob.
Goodbye, odd fish, little fish called. Little fish wondered if she'd ever see such strange fish again. The end. And then at the very end of our story, we've got a little bit of information about the inspiration behind our story. So here you can see our two boys as they've helped us on a beach clean and picked up some nets, some ghost fishing nets that we found washed up on the shore. We talk a little bit more about some of the things you guys can do too.
We really hope you guys enjoyed our story.
Little Fish was really happy to find Oddfish's family, but I don't think plastic belongs in the ocean at all. Do you?
There was quite a lot of plastic in the sea at the end there, wasn't there?
And the plastic wasn't very good for those sea creatures at all. Octopus got tangled tentacles and turtle got a tummy ache. Turtles eat plastic bags by mistake because they think they look like jellyfish. Poor turtle.
Poor turtle. And plastic is used to make so many things that we use every day, from bottles, food wrappers, straws, to face masks, bottle tops and bags. I bet you can think of more examples too.
So we're going to play a quick true or false game. So James is going to read out 3 facts, and in your classrooms, I want you to tell your teachers whether you think these facts are true, which means real, or false, which means that we've made them up.
So I'm going to give you 3 facts. So the first fact, is it true or false that they found tiny parts of plastic called microplastic in human blood? Ooh.
Yeah.
True or false? So what do you think? Tell your teachers. And number 2, is this true or false? 1 rubbish truck's worth of plastic is dumped in the ocean every minute of every day.
That's a lot of rubbish.
That's a lot of rubbish.
That's got to be made up, surely.
Oh, I don't know. True or false? You tell your teachers. And the last fact is by 2050, the ocean will contain more plastic by weight than fish.
Now, I don't know if you guessed it right, but actually all 3 of those facts are true facts, which means they're real. Now, we want all of you to grow up in a world where in 2050, there is still a lot more fish in the ocean than there is plastic.
So what can we all do about it?
Well, some of you might live near the sea like we do, and some of you might live near rivers or lakes, and some of you might live miles and miles and miles away from any kind of water, but you can all still make a huge difference, all of you.
So pick up litter when you see it, and maybe challenge your grown-up to see who can collect the most rubbish.
You can also ask your grown-up to use less single-use plastic at home. So single-use plastic is plastic that is used just once and then thrown in the bin, like the lids you get on the top of hummus or cling film or plastic bottles.
You could also ask your friends and teachers at your school and nursery to sign up to become a plastic-free school with the Surfers Against Sewage.
So now that you've learned all about what you guys can do to help stop there being so much plastic in the ocean, we thought it would be really fun for you all to have a go at drawing your very own characters from the Odd Fish. So this is when everyone needs their pencils and their paper, and I'm going to move out the way so that you can see James and his piece of paper clearer.
So everyone can get their paper and they can hold it this way up, and then everyone get a pen or a pencil or a crayon, something for you guys to draw with. So I'll bring this nice and close so you're able to see. And we're going to start by drawing at the bottom of our page. I thought we'd draw that cheeky crab that keeps appearing on all the pages and follows along in the adventure. So to start with the crab, we're going to draw an oval, which is a squashed circle towards the bottom of your page. So a nice big oval. And from that oval, we're going to have 2 lines sticking up from the top, and they're going to be the stalks. Here we go. One there and one there. And on top of those, we're going to draw 2 circles, which are going to be part of crab's eyes. So I'll draw 1 there and 1 there. So now in those eyes, we're going to draw some more circles, and I'll show you why. So in one of your eyes, draw another circle, and on the other eye, also another circle. And in those, 1 more circle towards the top of this, the middle circle there, and you color that in for its pupils. And if you place it at the top in that middle one, it looks like it's looking up towards the top of the page. So if you do the same on the other side, you can color that in. So it looks like our crab is looking up to the top of the page. Now to finish our crab off, we need to give some legs. So we'll just do a few curved lines coming off the side. So you can have 3 there. It's up to you how many legs. And then 3 coming off there. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but he's quite a smiley crab. So he needs a really big smile. There. Now also, our crab's looking up at the top of the page. He's looking at someone. So he's going to give them a bit of a wave. So we can draw a slightly curved line coming off the side here. And then a sort of curved line like this with 2 straight lines, creating a sort of little Pac-Man character hand. And that's the crab's claw. So it looks like our crab's waving to someone. So I think we need to draw someone up here. So I thought we'd draw the little hero of our odd fish story. And that is Little Fish. So we're all going to draw Little Fish together right at the top of our page now, as if she's floating above crab. So to start with, at the top, if you draw a slightly curved line like this, and then 2 more curved lines to create a sort of rounded triangle like that. And that's Little Fish's head. And within that head, if we draw another circle for her eye, and then a circle within that, again, towards the bottom of that circle, so it looks like our little fish is looking down at our crab. Now, Little Fish, we need to finish off her little body. So we'll leave a bit of a gap, and then you draw another curved line. So a bit of a gap between the head and then a curved line. And then 1 curved line at the top. The same curved line at the bottom. And then we're going to draw a tiny little tail, the Little Fish's tail, to complete her body. Now, Little Fish is also quite smiley, so you need to give her a nice smile on her face there. So that can just be a little curved line. And also, because crab's waving at her, we think she should wave back. So you can give Little Fish her little fin, giving crab a little wave. And also, she's got some fins on top of her body. And then it's up to you guys. You can finish off Little Fish how you want, but if you want to copy me, she has a couple of lines here, a couple of lines there, just to give her some different characteristics on her body. And there you have Little Fish and our crab. Now it's quite nice to make them look, because they're in the water, we could add some bubbles coming up from each of the characters. A few bubbles here, a few bubbles there. You could also add some movement lines, so it looks like the characters are moving around and whizzing around and moving around in the ocean. And if you add these movement lines, it looks like they're moving super fast. And there you have it. Now, the rest of the page, you can fill in with more little fish or some other crabs or any other sea creatures you want. Or you could write a little message to someone there. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I had lots of fun doing it. And if you can, I'm not sure you guys can turn on your videos today, but if you find us or if you get your teachers and parents to tag us online, we'd love to see the draw alongs you've done with us today. So I'm just going to move this to the side so Naomi can come back in.
I thought I'd show you. I had a go at drawing.
Oh, wow. There you go.
So you can see I had a go at drawing it too.
Very good.
But yeah, we love to see all your drawings. So if you're able to tag us on social media afterwards, that would be wonderful.
That would be brilliant. And
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Naomi. Thanks so much, James. And I also had a lot of fun drawing.
Hey, very nice. Yeah.
So thanks very much. I hope you all watching and all your schools enjoyed that too. Please pop in some questions into the chat. We'd love to hear from you, what you'd like to ask Naomi and James, or your teachers can put those in. And we've had a couple more schools join us. So let me say hello to you too. So we've got Joseph's College in Ipswich, Elvertham in Heath Primary in Fleet. So hello to both of you as well.
Woohoo.
So is anyone who's going to be the first person to pop their question in the chat box?
Is it questions about
Which school's
anything?
going to go first?
About how we wrote the story or illustrated the
Or how we
story,
draw, or plastic in the ocean,
Yeah.
or about the characters. Yeah.
all sorts of things.
And I'll whilst we're waiting, I'll go first and say, so Naomi James, how long did it take you to create the book?
Well, it always takes a lot longer than you think to make a book, is what we found. So it probably took me a couple of months to write it, and it probably took James about 6 months to illustrate it. But then I always say it takes a village to make a book, because we work with lots of people. So we work with people like Emma, who's our editor, and we work with some wonderful designers who help James with all the images, and there are people in production who bring the book together. So it probably takes a couple of years, or at least a year, from when the book is finished and ready to print before the book is available in shelves, because it's printed on the other side of the world often and shipped here, and then the books go into the shops. So it takes longer than you think to make a book.
Good question.
Good question. Thank you, Emma.
So we've got a question from 1P at Perry Hall. They would like to know, how was all the plastic in one place, and why did you decide to put a crab on each page in the book?
So I'll answer the first part of the question,
Yeah.
and James can talk about the crab. So plastic in the ocean. So we live near the beach in Cornwall, and whenever we go to the beach, we always see bits of plastic washed up. And when I started writing this book, I started doing some more research about plastic. And it turns out that because of the currents, there are places in the world where the plastic literally all comes together. So one of them is called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and it's huge, like miles and miles and miles across, and all the plastic just meets in one place, and it's just like plastic as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
It all bunches together, and that's just because of the way the currents and the work around the world. And I hadn't realized that till I started reading it. So that's what we wanted in the story, for Oddfish's family to be one of these sort of Great Pacific garbage patches where it all mashes together. And sometimes there are animals kind of living on it, and the birds living on it, and then it's really, really bad for their health, as well as all the sea creatures.
And the cheeky crab is there because we love creating picture books, and we love reading picture books, especially to our two little boys, and the best ones we read over and over again. And it's always good to have something else going on in the background for the next time you read them, to spot something a bit different. And the crab, it started off like that, but then he became his own little venture, his own little journey by itself, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Our kids love it when our boys are 5 and 7, and they love it when there are things to spot like that on every single page.
Yeah.
So,
and there's also a lot of other sea creatures in there, and also maybe some other bits of plastic that's hidden around, that's sort of entangled in there. So have another look when you get it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, you two. And our next question is from St Joseph's College and also Weston-on-Trent Primary, and they both schools would like to know, how many books have you written?
So, well, I've written loads and loads of stories, because I've been writing books since I was probably all of your age. but the ones that have been published. So our first
book is The Perfect Fit.
And that was published last year. And that's a story about a triangle who feels like she doesn't fit in with the other shapes. So she goes searching for somewhere she truly belongs.
Yeah. And then the follow-up to that, which came out a month ago, is One More Try.
And this is about a circle who wants to build a tower, just like the squares and the hexagons do, but it's a bit trickier for circles.
It's a bit trickier for circles. So it's a story about determination and perseverance and thinking outside the box. And then obviously we have The Odd Fish out today.
Which is published today. So it's his book birthday today. So happy birthday, Odd Fish.
Yay.
And then we've got How to Catch a Rainbow, which I've written and is illustrated by a different illustrator, Anna Gomez, and that's publishing in August. So I've written, as I said, I've written lots of stories, but we will have 4 books published by the end of this year. But excellent question.
Good question, yeah.
And
Winnie from Abbey School would like to know, was it fun making the book? And I'm hoping this is definitely going to be a big yes, because I had lots of fun making it with you guys.
Well, yeah, we love making books. I've always wanted to write children's books, and I think it's absolutely the best job in the entire world. So yeah, it's really fun. And we had a lot of fun together thinking of the different things that the little fish could say as they were swimming along. And
yeah, we love bouncing ideas off each other.
And
the games of hide and seek and everything. And also just deciding on the colors of the world and creating the ocean world and seeing it all come to life and being able to see the book getting out there now. We love it all, don't we?
Yeah, so it's really fun. It's really fun making a book.
And we've got a great question here about one of the schools has made some pledges to reduce their single-use plastic. So that's amazing news. And they'd like some help with some ideas. So we'd like to know in what ways you do this.
Well, there's lots of different ways we're trying to do it at home. So a lot of it's the things that we buy. We're trying to buy fruit and vegetables that don't come in plastic bags, for example. And we
refill stores.
So we go to the refill stores and get things like our cereals and our oats and our pasta. We don't buy them in plastic bags anymore. We go and get them refilled. And we have switched all our shampoo and soaps and conditioners to just blocks of different soap. So I have like a shampoo bar, things like that.
And obviously not using plastic bottles.
Not using, we have a one bottle that we go and refill. So I guess at school it's probably slightly different, but I'm sure there are lots of different ways you can reduce. I guess it's just about reducing the plastic that you have. So but yeah, it's amazing that you're already doing that and you've got pledges. That's brilliant.
Yeah, really good.
If all of us can just do a bit and do our best, all those small differences will make up to be a massive difference. So well done.
And are there ways that we can help the oceans if we don't live near the sea? What can we do? I know you guys have been organising beach cleans and you do a brilliant job doing that, but what could we do if we don't live near the beaches?
So a lot of the litter that ends up in the sea is not all dropped just by the ocean. So any litter on the land will often get washed into streams, even tiny streams, and then those streams go and join the rivers, and the rivers will eventually join the sea. So even if you live miles and miles away from the sea, if you live anywhere near water, it's still going to make a difference. And even if you don't live near the water, all that rubbish that is kind of out and about is bad for all the other animals, to be honest, that live there as well. So yeah, any picking up litter when you see it is brilliant. Obviously don't litter in the first place, and just using less single-use plastic at home, that will adds up and makes a big difference too.
And they can also sign up to the plastic-free school with Surfers Against Sewage,
and they have lots more information about the changes you can make at schools and at nurseries to help become plastic-free schools. So yeah, there's loads that we can do, and I think everyone should know that no matter what age you are, you can still make a big difference.
Thanks so much. And your favourite sea creatures, what are they, please?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
I quite like the crab. I think that's why I chose him as a cheeky little crab to be in the story. I quite like, I'll go for a crab.
I quite like the turtle, I think.
Yeah,
I think I quite like a turtle. They always seem quite chilled, turtles.
Good question.
What's yours, Emma? What's your favourite?
Yeah, what's yours, Emma?
Oh, I think maybe the octopus.
Oh, there you go. That's a good shout.
All those tentacles. And has anyone else got? I think we've answered everyone's questions. Has anyone sort of missed out? Would anyone like any? I think we've got time for a couple more. If anyone's still wanting to ask Naomi and James something.
They were good questions.
They were excellent questions.
Yeah.
They were brilliant. So thank you so much.
I think we've got one more.
Start writing books and illustrating books.
Oh, to be honest, I've just always loved stories. Ever since I was little, I've loved reading books. I've loved writing them, making up my own stories. And I think it's just really fun when you can kind of go into your imagination and just make up your own worlds and characters and stories. And then once you've written a story, you get to share it with other people. So yeah, I mean, I've always written stories. Both me and James take inspiration from everywhere, from our two boys, from the people we talk to, from
nature,
things we see, things we watch, art exhibitions, music, all sorts of things. Yeah, and you've been drawing since you were little too, haven't you?
Yeah, I was the same. Since I was really small, I've been drawing, creating, doodling, just playing around and not worrying about the outcome. And yeah, just taking inspiration from everywhere. But I think if you want to do either of those things, just keep doing them as much as you can. Yeah,
and have fun with it. I think that's the secret.
Yeah, definitely have fun.
Have fun creating something. Have fun playing around with words and playing around with paint or pencils or yeah.
And Alyssa would like to know what your favourite books are.
Oh, I've got so many favourite books. It's so hard to choose.
As in kids' books, I guess.
I think one of my favourite books is still Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. That's a bit older. And picture books.
Picture book wise, I have to say Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. It's a classic. And I also love all the textures and the colours and the way the compositions are. That's definitely a big favourite for me.
Yeah, but our shelves, we've got bookshelves at home that are just full of books. You can never have too many books.
We're actually having more shelves put under the stairs now, so we can fit more of the books in. So yeah, he's kindly stopped work at the moment.
And we've got someone says, we love your books. Are there any more to come next year, or are they a secret?
Hi, Miss Dorrans, who asked that question. She's a very good support of ours. Thank you very much. And hello to your class.
Hello to your class. So there are some more books to come, but we can't say any more than that at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but
we have to have some secrets.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Naomi and James. It's been absolutely brilliant to have you, and so nice to have so many different schools joining us. And I hope you've enjoyed drawing along with us and finding out, reading this, more about oceans and plastic, and saying hello to the cheeky little crab. So thank you very much. We couldn't have done this without you. And just to say that our next Key Stage 2 event will be with Annabelle Sammy on the 30th of June. We're going to put a feedback form into the chat, and so if you can take a few minutes to put your thoughts down there, that would be great and help us keep improving. Let me put that. And we've also got a link to get 60% off the book too, so I'll be popping that in the chat.
And we'd love to know what you think about it, so please get in touch with us on social media.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's one of our favourite parts of the job, to be honest, is to get the chance to talk to readers and share our stories and share our drawings with you all. So thank you so much today for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Willington Primary. Oh, thank you for everyone for coming. We've really enjoyed having you. So bye for now.
Bye, everyone.